A warship sails into Mogadishu's port, its massive steel frame gliding across the water, delivering something far more dangerous than aid: weapons. Guns, artillery, and military equipment silently unloaded under a tense Somali sky. But what does this mean for the Horn of Africa? And more importantly, how does it change the balance of power in the region? From Cairo to the banks of the Nile, Egypt's moves are not just about expanding influence. These are strategic decisions designed to shape the future of Africa's most volatile region. The Horn of Africa is already a hotspot for military and political tensions, with Ethiopia's ambitious Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam threatening Egypt's water supply and Somalia's ongoing battles against militants like Al-Shabaab, leaving the country vulnerable. Now, with Egypt delivering military equipment to Somalia, the stakes are higher than ever. But there's more beneath the surface than just a shipment of weapons. This isn't just about Somalia beefing up its military. It's about a geopolitical chess game involving Egypt, Ethiopia, and a scramble for power that could pull the entire region into conflict. Why did Egypt choose now to act? Why Somalia, a country already trapped in its own struggles? And what does Ethiopia, Egypt's longtime rival, have to say about its neighbor receiving this military boost? Today we unpack the critical details behind Egypt's latest maneuver, why it matters, and why you should care. Because this isn't just a regional dispute, it could be the spark that ignites a larger confrontation. Recently, a military-grade Egyptian vessel docked in Mogadishu, Somalia's capital, under a shroud of secrecy. Inside were not humanitarian supplies or diplomatic envoys, but high-grade military weapons, everything from anti-aircraft guns to artillery pieces. The delivery marks a significant escalation in Egypt's involvement in Somalia and signals a major power play against Ethiopia. To fully understand why Egypt would deliver weapons to Somalia, we need to look at the ongoing feud between Egypt and Ethiopia, which has been simmering for years over the Nile River and Ethiopia's GET project. Ethiopia's dam, which is nearing completion, threatens to restrict Egypt's water supply, a source it considers essential for survival. For years, Egypt has tried diplomacy and negotiations to mitigate this threat. But as talks stall, Cairo has been increasingly assertive. Now it seems Egypt is looking for new ways to pressure Ethiopia, and Somalia may hold the key. At first glance, Egypt's decision to send weapons to Somalia might seem surprising. Somalia has long been a war-torn nation, struggling to assert control over its territories, especially with the presence of terrorist groups like Al-Shabaab. But in this fractured state, Egypt sees an opportunity. By bolstering Somalia's military capabilities, Egypt hopes to gain an ally on Ethiopia's eastern flank. Somalia's strategic location near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the key gateway to the Red Sea, makes it an invaluable partner in the region's power dynamics. Moreover, the delivery of weapons serves as a clear message to Ethiopia. Egypt is willing to go beyond diplomatic pressure. Ethiopia has been warned. As Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed once said, any country planning to invade Ethiopia should think 10 times before proceeding. The arrival of Egyptian weapons in Somalia makes this threat feel more real than ever before. For Somalia, the weapons are both a gift and a curse. On one hand, they strengthen Somalia's ability to defend itself, not just against Al-Shabaab, but against growing concerns about Ethiopian influence in the region. Ethiopia's controversial maritime deal with Somaliland, which undermines Somalia's sovereignty, has pushed Somalia closer to Egypt. This partnership could help Somalia regain a stronger footing, but it also risks pulling the country deeper into regional rivalries that it may not be able to manage. Somalia, already embroiled in its own internal conflict, now stands at a crossroads. The weapons from Egypt give it a significant military boost, but they also tie Somalia to Egypt's larger regional ambitions. What happens when Ethiopia reacts to its neighbors' increasing military might? Could these new weapons fall into the wrong hands, such as Al-Shabaab or other factions within the country? The lines between national security and regional destabilization are thin, and Somalia is walking a tightrope. Ethiopia's response to this new development is one of concern. Egypt's arming of Somalia signals an aggressive shift that threatens the delicate balance of power in the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia is not just worried about the GET negotiations falling apart. It is also worried about the possibility of facing a militarized Somalia on its border. Egypt's influence in Somalia could embolden Somali leaders to take a harder stance on the border dispute with Ethiopia, while also encouraging Ethiopia's own enemies within its borders, such as the Oromo Liberation Army, to rise up against the central government. The Ethiopian government has already expressed alarm at the idea of external powers influencing its neighbors. The possibility that the Egyptian weapons could destabilize the region, either by falling into the hands of militants or by sparking an arms race, is a serious concern. Ethiopia's military is stretched thin with internal conflict, and this new development puts even more pressure on the country's leadership. The Horn of Africa has long been a region of fragile alliances and shifting power dynamics. Egypt's delivery of weapons to Somalia could be the move that tips the scales. While it remains to be seen how the region will respond, one thing is certain: the stakes have never been higher. If these tensions escalate, it could lead to more instability, violence, and potentially even open conflict between Ethiopia and its neighbors. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is watching closely, with critical trade routes passing through the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Global powers like the US, China, and the European Union have a vested interest in maintaining stability in the region. Egypt's aggressive posture could complicate international diplomacy, especially if tensions spill over into broader geopolitical conflicts. The Horn of Africa is on the edge of transformation. Egypt's decision to arm Somalia isn't just about military equipment. It's about redefining the balance of power in one of the world's most volatile regions. What happens next? Will Ethiopia retaliate? Will Somalia's new weapons spark an arms race or bring long-sought stability? Or will this move plunge the region into deeper conflict? We'll be following this story closely as it develops, so make sure to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on this and other critical global issues. What are your thoughts on Egypt's weapons delivered to Somalia? Do you think this will lead to peace or further instability? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. My name is Arafat Musa, and this is the New Africa Channel.